Hello and welcome to the Bold Believers Podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Dawn, and in today's episode, I'm going to be sharing something with you that will make you feel so much more confident in your business. You will feel so much more confident selling your offers, creating content, and even talking to other people, like in your day-to-day life, about the work that you do. And that one thing is to embody what you sell. Embody what you sell. It is very simple, but so many people miss this. Because what a lot of people do is they will come into the online space and they'll look around at what other people are doing. And they'll think like, okay, I want to create a course or a passive income product, or I want to create a coaching program, but what do I do? Like, what do I do to make money in this online space? Instead of coming at it from this angle of, this is what I've been through. This is what I know. This is what I live on a day-to-day basis, and I know it's helped me. Therefore, because I live this, I know it can help another human being. This changes everything because it's going to be pretty much inevitable that you will experience some fear in your entrepreneurial journey. I've never met another human being who has not have some fear come up, or a little bit of self-doubt or imposter syndrome and that kind of stuff. But those things do not stand a chance against your embodiment. They might pop up every once in a while, but they are not going to slow you down because you live what you teach. You live what you sell. I very recently came to Jesus after being in witchcraft and the New Age for most of my life. Now, this was not my first encounter with Jesus. I was there back in my 20s. I had a really great time actually in Christianity. It's just that I could not wrap my head around what I was reading in the Bible. I really struggled with that, and I ended up leaving. And then over the years, every once in a while, I would be called back, and it would only last maybe, I don't know, sometimes a couple days, sometimes a week or so, like not very long. And it felt like this ongoing wrestling match with God until this time around. Like this time, I just knew with every cell in my being that I meant to be with Jesus. And I knew that obviously my existing business could not keep running. I could not walk with God behind the scenes and not share it. And with this, I know that God's supposed to be a big part of my business. It's not just going to be business coaching. There is going to be faith-related content coming through. But I also know that I'm not in any position whatsoever to be a spiritual authority in the Christian space. Like that is not where I am on my journey. What I can talk about is my lived experience though, which I shared in the first couple episodes of this show. That's 100% in integrity because I'm living it. And so of course I can speak on that. But I'm not going to do episodes coming at it from this angle of being any kind of Christian authority because I'm not. I'm an authority on my lived experiences though. So when I was taking a look at my business and what I was going to take with me in this next chapter, moving forward with God, making him the center of the work that I was doing, I stripped away everything, like obviously the witchcraft related content, but even the manifestation work that I was teaching, I just stripped away all of it. And I asked myself, okay, so what can I teach? What can I coach on that I know I live every single day? And I decided to stick with business coaching that is centered around boldness, around mindset, around moving through fear, because this is what I live. I started making big, bold moves in my life back when I left my 9-to-5. This is going back years and years ago. I was working for the family business and I had been there for about 16 years and I was miserable. Not that there was anything wrong with that company, but I knew it wasn't the work that I was meant to be doing. And I still remember the terror I felt walking away from that into the big world that seemed so scary after growing up in a business that it felt like home to me. And then beyond that, I started a cleaning business. I've made moves across the country. I have left relationships when it did not make sense for me to leave them, but I knew it was the right thing to do. So I have a very, very long history of making bold moves even when it doesn't make sense. Because I truly believe that we are called where we are called for a reason. And now, of course, God is at the center of things. So things are a little bit different from my perspective now, putting him in charge, putting him at the front, at the head. But even before then, I was preaching this message. It shifted a little bit because my theology has changed. But I know what it's like to do things scared. I know what it is like to do things that you know other people are not going to be happy with. But one thing I have preached in my content for a very long time is that it is not your job to make other people comfortable. You're not a Snuggie. You are not a Snuggie. It is not your job to make other people comfortable. It is your job to live out your calling. It is your job to do what God has called you to do. Now, when I was in the New Age, I saw this a little bit differently. It was more of follow your desires, follow your truth, follow your intuition. That's the way that I used to phrase these things, because that's the lens we can say I was seeing the world through. But I still believe similar things to be true, just with God at the head now. And then bringing this back to business, I decided to, as I mentioned, drop everything, but keep the business coaching with a focus on this because I live it. I'm so grateful for all of the messages I've been receiving lately. I've received a lot from people who've been in my world for a while who they're not aligned with Christianity at all, but they know me and they've always known me to show up authentically, even when it's really messy, even when other people do not agree. I stand by this and I live this. So when a client comes to me, whether they're Christian or not, and they're experiencing fear, when they're worried about what other people are going to think, when they're afraid to put their work out there because they might get judged by other people, I can say, you know what? I got you. I've been there. I've actually been there a million times before, and you're going to be okay. Let's go there together. And so whatever it is you know is true for you based on your lived experiences, create your offers around that. Create content around that. Because when you stand behind what you're putting out there, people can feel that. People can feel your truth coming through you. And if you're only putting things out there because you think they're going to sell, or you're only creating content that is going to be really pleasant for everyone, nicey nice vanilla content that never ruffles feathers, that never activates people, sure, you might create some success, but at the end of the day, are you going to feel like you truly put work out there that you stand behind? When you put work out there that you embody, you are standing on solid ground. And so fear might come up, self-doubt might come up, but it's not going to impact you because you are rooted in this lived experience, in this embodiment. You no longer have to chase confidence because it's a byproduct of who you are. It's like, this is just who I am. It's what I do. Why wouldn't I be confident in that? Like if you're a mother, it's who you are. It's what you do. Like someone can't come up to you and be like, yeah, are you sure though? Are you sure you're a mother? It's like, no, I popped a kid out. I'm a mother. Like no one can take that away from you. And so in your work, if you are feeling shaky, if you are feeling like a lot of fear when you're putting your stuff out there and you're not confident selling, just take a look at your offer, take a look at what you have going on, and ask yourself, do I live this? Do I live this? Can I stand by this? If someone was a fly on my wall, would they see me living this behind the scenes? And when you create from that space, you can't lose because it's who you are, it's what you do, and what you're doing is letting other people know, hey, this is what has really worked for me. This is what I live. And your work is not meant for everyone. I want to make that very clear. Your work is not meant for everyone, and it also might change. But when you approach your business from this angle, everything becomes so much more easier. You don't have to try so hard because all you're doing is sharing you with your community, you with the world in your online space, like your online business world. Okay, here are a couple questions that I'm going to leave with you around this if you are feeling a little bit shaky. Number one is, what do I embody right now? Number two, what am I truly living that I can teach from experience? Very simple, but these questions right here will help you get to that thing that will make you feel so much more confident in your business. All right, I'm going to leave you with that for today. I hope you have an amazing, amazing rest of your day, and I can't wait to speak with you in the next episode.